Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the Xenos factions. I know, how bizarre, me talking about Xenos. I think it's fair to say that everyone knows that I am a full-on Space Marine fanboy. Primaris are basically my drug these days. I absolutely love them. I know the lore sucks in some areas, but design-wise they are amazing balls. But enough of the Space Marines. Today, we're going to focus on you glorious Xenos because you guys need some love as well. As a Primaris player, I am very lucky. I know I'm so lucky. But you guys are in a bit of a rut at the moment. Well, certain armies are in a bit of a rut at the moment. And we're going to take a look at some of these armies. And we're going to discuss which one deserves the next big release. And when I mean the next big release, I mean who deserves to have new models, basically. So let's jump in and let's get started. So over on the Games Workshop website, the list of Xenos armies are Necrons, Craftworlds, Drakari, Genestealer Cults, Harlequins, Orcs, Tau Empire, Tyrannid, and Yanara. Now, I think we can take the Genestealer Cults out of this situation for now because you guys have had a tremendous release. Your models are probably some of the best models in the 40k range now. I love like the HQ characters you got, the vehicles you've got. Absolutely bang on job. So you guys are basically being slung out of this video. So if you were a Genestealer Cult fanboy and you came to hear about glorious Genestealer Cults, then forgive me, you are basically being tossed to the curb first. I think we should start with the probably oldest race, or one of the oldest races, let's say, and that is the Necrons. Now the Necrons themselves haven't really been outstanding in this edition, according to certain sources, certain players who play Necrons. I'm not saying they're a bad army. I've heard they can perform pretty well, but tournament levels and stuff like that, they haven't really been getting a shining reception, let's say. Now, if we actually go through most of their models, I would personally say that most of the models, not all of them, but most of your models actually stand up to some of the new models, like the Primaris models, the Genestealer Cult models, let's say. Most of your models stand up. There is a couple of models which, for me, if I was making an army straight away, I would think, okay, I would like an updated version of that, an updated version of this and that. So the Flayed ones, for example, I personally think that those guys could use a nice update when it comes to the model range. The Necron Destroyer Squadron, I think it looks pretty outdated. Your Citan, well, basically your shards of Citan definitely need some love. Your HQ choices like Trizon and Imhotep, what's it, Nemesaur, these guys, I actually think they're pretty decent HQ models. I think they can stand up to you know, some of the latest HQ models. So I think it's more just those kind of models. So I'm probably going to say Necrons, not so much. You guys need an update. If there's something that you guys do need, and I completely agree on this subject, you need something like a Knight-esque model. Now, I know Forge World released that big spider tank thing, but that's more or less like looking at an Astraeus than looking at, you know, the big spider tank. You need something in between. So I do agree on that. I know a lot of people have mentioned that to me before. So if maybe GW did something like that for you guys, I think most of you Necron players would be pretty happy. You could probably argue that the Monolith is that kind of weapon, but a lot of people who I've spoke to who are Necron players say, no, we want something to, like, you know, like a Knight-esque type of model. Maybe that's just balance reasons, and maybe you're just sick of Imperial Knights. So let's see what happens on that front. But I'm going to toss you to the side as well, because I think most of your range actually stands out. Now, moving on to one of the next races, and again, it's an old race. It is the Eldar/Craft Worlds. And this is something I didn't see myself doing, discussing Eldar and discussing what they should have updated, and they deserve new models. My good holy emperor, please send the Inquisition someone, because I need to be gloriously purged out of existence. Right, so if we go through the list of some of the Eldar models, it's more or less plain to see straight away. The Howling Banshees stand out. Those guys look super old. Back in the day, they were legit some of the coolest models, but now with all the new models coming out, they definitely need an upgrade. You've got the Wraith Support Battery, which definitely, I think, personally for me, needs an upgrade. the striking scorpions. Are these striking? I think the striking scorpions are still metal, if I'm not mistaken. The swooping hawks, again, swooping hawks and striking scorpions. So they, again, 4 units so far that need upgrading. You could probably argue like the Dark Reapers, their poses are a bit meh compared to some of the the new heavy weapons poses and stuff like that. Stuff like the Wraith Knight, I think, is bang on and looks cool. The Crimson Hunter, all your tanks have always been very stylish, so they've survived the time. Warp spiders I'm looking at now. Oh my holy emperor! Yeah, you guys need some warp spiders improvements. Avatar of Cain, that looks very out of place, I would say, and with all the latest models coming out. So again, Avatar of Cain could definitely use an upgrade. I'm looking at the Farseer and Warlocks. Those guys definitely need some upgrades as well. I think there is a new Farseer in one of the latest box sets, which happened on Vigilus, if I'm not mistaken, but that was just one. So yes, again, you need a brand new pack of these guys. Dire Avengers, no, I think they can stand. Yeah, I personally think they look okay. The Guardian squads look okay. All your little jet bikes and stuff like that. You can probably argue with like the cool looking new Custody ones that your guys look a bit old school, let's say. If I'm moving down the list, oh my holy emperor, guys, I'm so sorry. You Eldar players, I can actually feel your pain. I can feel it. My God, this is a horrible feeling. I feel sorry for the Eldar. So you've got an Autarch, definitely needs upgrading, definitely. Some of the support weapons are going through. The Phoenix Lord, Mogara, am I pronouncing that right? I'm sorry, Eldar, don't purge me. Phoenix Lord, Asuraman, he definitely needs some love. The Phoenix Lord, Karandrus, definitely. I'm looking at your models now, and you guys are definitely in need of some HQ improvements. Again, when it comes to tournaments, you probably won't see most of these models, but if you're doing the narrative games like I play, and you want to see these glorious HQs, you want to go against them and all that kind of stuff, then you want them looking fantastic. Again, I'm not saying that they're awful models back in the day. These guys were amazing, but with GW advancing their technology, making these awesome new sculpts now, all the CAD designs, these armies definitely need that kind of love to bring them into the next stage of design and development. The Janzar, oh my holy emperor, yeah, she definitely needs it. Phoenix Lord Baroff, he definitely needs it as well. So let's put the Eldar to one side at the moment. We're keeping the Eldar. The Eldar definitely need the upgrade, so we'll come to that at the end if they're fighting against someone, and we'll make the final decision. But the Eldar are definitely in the running for now. Or sorry, should I say Craft Worlds are definitely in the running for the army that needs to be upgraded first. And moving to your Dark Cousins, which is of course the Drakari / Dark Eldar. Going over this list, I think these guys are in the same boat as the Craft Worlds and stuff like that. Just going through the list, looking at like the Incubi, they definitely need an upgrade. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names wrong. The Wyches or Witches, and I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Again, I'm so sorry. Xenos and me do not go together. There's like a snake guy, which is it Sliff? Am I even saying that right? But those 3 units just completely stand out for me. They definitely need the glorious updates. The Mandrakes look nice. I actually like the Mandrakes. I have no problem with them. Talos looks nice. The Racks actually look nice. I've got no problem with them. The Kronos looks nice. Your flyers like the Ravager, the Razorwing jet fighter, I actually think they look pretty decent. I have no problems with them at all. The Calabite warriors, I definitely think they need some love. The Hellions, again, definitely need upgrading as well. Again, your HQs need the love as well. Look, the Succubus looks kind of old. It's a badass pose. Maybe just do the same pose, but just upgrade the model. The Drazhar looks very outdated. The Beastmaster looks very outdated as well. The Urgul looks very outdated. Oh bloody hell, these names are sending me down a spiral. The La Mayan. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Yes. Let's just come to the conclusion that more or less all your HQs need the love. They definitely need the love to be upgraded. Some of your just other bulky units, like the Calabite Warriors, need the love as well. So again, I think I'm going to put you to the side along with the other pointy ears, and we'll come back to you at the end of the video. But for now, it's a 50-50 between Dark Eldar and Craft Worlds, who need the upgrade. And next on the list is more pointy ears. Bloody hell, there's so many Eldar, it's sending me bizarre, insane. So Harlequins are next, and I've got to say, this is going to be a kind of quick one. I don't think Harlequins need any new improved, upgraded units. All your stuff looks fabulous. I'm not going to lie. The Harlequin trope, the Death Jester, the Sky Weavers, the Star Weaver, the Void Weaver. I'm liking all these. Maybe more units added to your armor, because again, I'm not really that much in the know when it comes to Harlequins, lore wise. So I don't know what else they could add. But from design point, I personally think that all your army is bang on, and it is okay with time at the moment. I don't think there's anything that looks out of place, looks old, looks like it needs updating for now. So Harlequins, I'm going to toss you to the curb because you don't need no updates. So see you in a bit, clowns. Now the next Xenos faction is probably my favourite Xenos faction, and it is the Green Tide. Of course, it is the Orcs. I absolutely love Orcs. Now, we did have October, which was kind of anticlimactic. I expected more. You guys did get a couple of new vehicles, the custom booster blaster, the shock jump dragster, all these car vehicles. You got a Mech Boy workshop, but there's still a lot of units that need a lot of love when it comes to the Orcs. First things first, Gaz Skullfracker. As Gaz Skullfracker, as big as he is in the lore, what he's achieved, I would expect him to have gotten a new model in October, especially with the Primarchs and the Demonic Primarchs and all that coming back. They got nice shiny HQ models for each of those factions. I definitely would have betted like nearly everything I had on Gaz Skull getting a brand new model in October. Maybe GW are doing something business-wise, and maybe the next campaign will be set around Armageddon. We've discussed that before, and maybe that's where they got to introduce it, much like Abaddon was introduced around Vigilus and all the stuff like that. So maybe that is what they're planning to do with him. Now, if we go down the list, the Mega Knobs, I think they look kind of static, kind of square. So I would probably say they need upgrading. The Flash Gates look nice. I think the Flash Gates have just recently been upgraded though, and stuff like that. Most of your vehicles, like the Blitz Bomber, the Burma Bomber, the Dakar Jet, all your jets, I actually do think look ace. I don't think they need upgrading because it's basically just Orc tech all mangled together. Big Mech and Armor, again, I think they look kind of squarer. I don't know what they could possibly do to change the design. Maybe some more dynamic poses to really bring them out a bit more. Probably that's the worst they can go. The Death Dread I'm looking at, it looks killer. I've got no problem with that. Some of the new units now, the Megatrack Scrapjet, yeah, all fine. Now, stuff like the Orc Commandos, which I'm looking at, the Orc Tank Busters, the Orc Boys, the Orc Knobs, Orc Looters. I'm just going down the list real fast. Orc Burner Boys, the Pain Boys, the Weird Boy, the Orc Boss Snickrot, the Orc Boss with War Banner, Orc Boss Zagstruck. These guys, I personally feel these kind of models. Let's just go back to Orc Boys, right? So the basic Orc Boy model, I personally think needs a massive update. If you compare the Orcs from the AOS range, I know you can argue that they're probably different and stuff like that, but the AOS Orcs look big, feral, very, very Orca. They actually look like they have a lot of power and they have a lot of strength behind them and stuff like that. When it comes to the 40k Orc Boys now, especially with like the range changing in size and stuff like that, these guys look mini. They look small. I know I get people argue, well, they're not bosses, they need to be small and stuff like that, but I would still like some mass to them. These guys can rip Space Marines apart and stuff like that if they get the chance to. So I think the basic upgrade range for the Orcs themselves needs to happen more on an infantry level rather than a vehicle level. I know you can argue like the Death Copters and stuff like that, but me personally, if if they were going to get the love, it would be infantry models, then the HQ models, like Gaz Skull, and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm gonna keep orcs in the running. So I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna add them to the craft worlds and Drakara, and we'll move on to the next force. And the next force is the blue boys, or the blues as I like to call them, which is the Tau. Now there's a lot of debate because I get a lot of Tau memes on me at the moment because people keep calling me a Primaris Tau player because I just make gun lines. I hate you all. I absolutely hate you all. So please stop this. Now, when I'm going through the Tau list, most of the Tau units are fine. Like you've got the Storm Surge, you've got the Ghost Keel, you've got the Hammerhead, the Razor Strike Fighter. I personally think these are all fine. The Pathfinder team look fine. It's just like when I'm going down the list and I see stuff like the Vesped Stingwings. I think they look very, very old. The MV-71 Sniper Drones and Firesight Marksmen, I think they look a bit old. You've got the Avo Master of Undying Spirit. Again, I'm sorry about these Xenos names. That looks very, very old. Kroot themselves, we've seen Kroot in the Blackstone Fortress, how awesome you can make Kroot look. The Kroot models here, they're nice. They are nice, but I think when you compare it to that Blackstone Fortress model, it looks kind of, yeah, give us some upgrades and stuff like that. The Krutox Rider again, that's something you get upgraded. Again, it's for these guys, I think it's mostly HQs that need some love, like the Awu Shai Tower Ethereal. That chap needs an upgrade. It's basically all the Ethereals. Ethereals with Honor Blade, the basic Ethereal, the again Kroot Shaper and stuff like that. It's more or less just your HQ guys, but the rest of your army, I personally think, are okay. I don't think you need upgrades on that front. So I think Mr. Tau players, and this is not me being biased to Tau because I hate you, up there with the Eldar and the Dark Eldar and stuff like that, I think I'm going to throw you to the curb. I don't think I can justify putting you in the running when your range is pretty decent. So away you go, get in that gutter and stay there, and don't you dare try it with the Imperium, or we will purge you. Got it? Cool. Next army. And of course, it is the Hive Mind. You Tyranid players must be just going insane at the moment, because I think you're more or less last if I'm editing all this together properly. So you guys, going through your list now, most of your forces, just like the Tau, look pretty cool. But there is a lot of things that are standing out to me straight away. The Tyrant Guards, straight away, I think those guys massively need an upgrade. If I just scroll down my list, the Hive Guard I think needs some upgrade. Where's the flyer? The Hive Crone. I personally think it looks okay. Maybe on the fence with that one. If we go more down the list, like the Tyranid Warriors, I think they're okay. It's stuff when you get to stuff like the Ravener Brood, they look super old. The Biovore looks super old. The Red Terror, oh my god, what is that? It just looks like blue tack painted. Like someone just dropped like some strings of blue tack and it's just landed in that way. So yeah, that definitely needs it. The Broodlord is fine, looks awesome. The Pyrovore, I personally would say needs an upgrade. The Genestealer Broods, I think they look fine. The Termagant, this is hard. I would probably say the Termagant Brood, yes. Upgrades. Gargoyle Brood, I would say yes. The Hormagaunt's Brood, no. I think they're fine. Death Leaper and Lictor, oh my holy emperor, yes. Please, someone do something with them straight away. Their designs, again, cool back in the day. Comparing it to the stuff now, not so much. They could probably get some more monstrous dynamic poses. The Lictor and the Death Leaper are supposed to be absolutely terrifying. These guys don't terrify me one bit. They just look like a Xenos creature. I want to be scared. I want to be frightened out of my skin. So I think, Mr. Tyranid players, we're going to add you to it. So we are going to add you to the list. So that means we now have to discuss Craftwords, Drakari, Orcs, and Tyranids. There's 4 people in the running. Let's have a little discussion, and I'm going to pick who I personally think should get the next big upgrade. Okay, so I went back over the armies and stuff, looked at them on the website, comparing units and stuff like that, and I personally think I've come to the conclusion that the army that needs upgrading the most, and I absolutely regret saying this, please forgive me, brothers, I feel dirty just saying this, it's the Eldar, it's the Craft Worlds. You guys need the upgrades the most. I feel like looking at your page, looking at your units, it's you chaps that are suffering the most. So I hope when Xenos do get some love from GW, that it's your army that receives the love first. I'm not saying that the rest should be slung to the curb. You guys definitely need your love as well. But for me, personally, I think it should be the Craft Worlds. Just looking at all the stuff that they are lacking HQ-wise and, you know, troop-wise and stuff like that. They've just got so many old stuff in there. Just makes them stand out and doesn't really stand up to the test of time. With all the new cool stuff that's coming out. But again, that is just my opinion. What is your opinion? What army do you think should receive the next love from GW? Xenos army, that is, the Xenos army. Which Xenos army should receive the next piece of love from GW? Leave it below in the comment section, and we can have a nice little healthy discussion about it down there. That is me done for another video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I feel absolutely dirty. I think I have to go and get a shower now. That's how filthy I am discussing you vile Xenos. I will purge you all from the galaxy. See you now. Have a nice night and enjoy yourself. See ya and